Good morning. My name is Terry Morgan. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020, and we are here to practice Wudang Taiji. I talked yesterday about an exercise we call cloud hands, shou. It's also part of our Taiji forms. In every system of Taiji, there is some version of cloud hands. There is some version of the exercise that we're working on now. So yesterday I covered Peng energy. Today I'm going to focus more on yeah. Let's do that. And then we also have Ji, which is press, on, push, and I'll work with one or the other of those tomorrow, and then we'll continue this on into next week. It's a fundamental exercise. It's relatively easy to learn the body mechanics for how to do it. I covered the footwork yesterday, so I'm going to cover a little bit more, just a little bit more of the footwork, and then move on up to the knees and the hips. Maybe I'll get to the waist, not sure yet. Excuse me. So as I go through this process of going into a lot more detail for this particular exercise, what I'm hoping is that it will enable somebody who wants to learn to have an exercise that they can practice that is complete. It's not like, I'm going to give you the first half of the form and then we get to closing and then you got to learn the second half, right? This is one exercise, right? We can do it two different ways. We can do it inside and outside, but and there's multiple opportunities for using it in different ways. But it's one exercise, not 108 moves in the form. So I decided to pull this out now because I've already given a portion of the first part of the form, taught it in detail. There's a few of the forms that I haven't given the applications for yet, but I'm going to get to them. And then I've also shown in this environment, I've shown the first part of the Wudang Taiji form. I have another video up for the Yang style Taiji form in a much nicer environment. It was a park before we all decided that we should stay home. I decided I should stay home. I'm staying home. Thank you. And if I go out, I wear a mask, because I'm going to take care of y'all as well as I'm going to take care of me. So that was my speech on that. For practice this morning, let's get started. One more sip of coffee. All right, let's get started. Feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to do our warm-up sets, right? So feet about shoulder width apart, arms up, fists down, hold the fist, elbows go back, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You speed it up a little bit. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And across the back. 1, 2. Change it. 3, 4. Okay? And we're going to speed that up. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2. Last time. 3, 4. Elbow. Turn. This one, pay attention to turning in the waist as we speed it up. Okay, so you go back, elbow 1, 2, change the other side, 3, 4. And notice I change my hand, 1, 2, get back, 3, 4. Okay? I'm going to speed it up a little bit. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, speed it up a little bit. Up and down. 1, 2, down, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Notice that if you didn't already notice it, notice that I did have my knees bent. Right? That was deliberate and intentional. I did not want all of that effort to go into my back or be exerted through my back. I want to use my legs. Okay. Not going to do the side swings, so let's stretch the right foot front, left leg back, knee over the toes. And keep the hip open. Right? And press forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Straight ahead. 1. I'm looking over here because I'm trying to watch and see what the cat's doing, and look at y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to talk about that for a second, just because I'm being talkative this morning. Some of the exercise videos, right? They're extremely well done, and they have the instructor looking exactly where he or she is supposed to look, which is great, except that then you go back and watch it and you're like, well, do they even know I'm here? I'm live streaming this, and I'm hopeful that somebody's watching, so I'm expecting that there's somebody on the other side of this that I'm talking to. So anyway, we go back and do the leg stretches again, except we're going to lower. Same, right? Leg goes back a little bit further. And front leg parallel, or close as you can get it, to the floor. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change. And again, you can get your leg parallel to the floor. That's where it should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. This takes that leg parallel to the floor, wide open stance, takes a lot of holding strength in the leg. It is not easy to do. Okay? It's kind of the next step. So you should be able to achieve this stance whether your leg is fully parallel to the ground, which is the goal. Yes, it is. Okay? This is, all right, this is fine. My leg is certainly not parallel to the floor. Okay? If this is my stance, if this is what I can do, this is a good stance, provided that I have the proper weight distribution, that my body's in the right position, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole long list of, is this correct type of requirements. Okay? So, this can be correct. This can be correct. This can be wrong. Alright? It's what? Alright, just body placement, balance, can you move? Alright? I just went into the stance and I came out of it. Could I have done something else to go in and come out? Yes, I could. That means it's okay for me to be there because I can get into it and I can get out of it. If I can't get in and out of it, then there's no point in me going there. Right? Sorry. It's a good day. It's a good day. It really is a good day. All right. So for the exercise that we started yesterday, cloud hands, right? Now this is from Wudang Taiji. Shou, cloud hands, has Peng, Lu, Ji, An, the four directions, four cardinal directions, and we have the four angular directions that make up the 8 directions, plus the 5 elements, which combine to make up the 13 postures of Tai Chi. With this particular exercise, I did several things. I may go back and kind of document some of that a little bit later. But it's a thorough and comprehensive exercise. Same exercise from Yang style Tai Chi. Okay, so there are some things that are very, very similar in the way, there's some things that are very, very similar in what we're doing with both Yang style and Wudang style cloud hands. There are some things which are obviously different, right? It's the common elements, Peng, Lu, Ji, An, that we want to focus on. The way they're done, particular movement, has bearing on the type of force that you're going to use. Fundamentally, Peng as Peng energy, Ji as Ji energy, right? So the type of force for Peng, go away, go by. And it has that element of bounce in it. Go away. Boom. Bye. Go. Don't. I was at a park and sitting down on a bench, and there was a little baby squirrel got up on my leg, and I didn't want to hurt it, so I just brushed it a little bit. That's Peng. Ji, press. Similar in some ways, but very different than An, push. Today I wanted to talk about pull or pull down. Here. I made it obvious. I was trying. So, if I'm going to face this way. Pretty much anything in this range with this dynamic is new. That's it. The ability for me to center, maintain my weight. I was just talking about this, whatever height I need to be able to maintain my weight. This needs to be solid. If my legs are not solid, when I try to pull on anything, I will simply cause myself to fall down. The range for this comes with, in this case, we're standing still. We don't have to, for any of this, you don't have to stand still. We are in practice. This is what we're doing. So with Liu, I was talking about weight transfer through the foot. I've transferred my weight back, my weight's back, coming back. Knee, come around the toes. Turn. Just now, my arm did not move. My arm needs to move, but I did not move my arm. I only moved my leg and I turned my waist. And look what happened to the arm. That's one thing that, especially beginning students, can have trouble with. They'll see the movement. They'll understand that, yeah, I need to get this hand from this point to this point, and miss the part of turn that carries the hand, and just take the hand. That's different. Hands here. I'm going to put my hand over here, and part of how I'm going to do it is to turn my body. My hand moved, so did my body. Here, body didn't move. Not so much. Everything moves. From here, my hand goes from pretty much aligned with my left shoulder, opposing shoulder. It's not out over here. It's over here by my shoulder. It just looks like it's out over here because I'm turned. Right? Here. And it's going to go to line with here. But it's going to look like it's over here because I've turned again. It's fundamentally the same, a little bit more effort, a little bit more energy, but fundamentally the same. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Turn, turn. Right? That's really stiff, but I'm trying to get the concept that this hand is not going out all. Don't hit the fan. There's a fan up here. In judging tournaments, I've seen people do some interesting things with their hands, and it seemed sometimes it was beautiful. It was nicely done. It was also disconnected. There wasn't this sense that there's something here, that if I have actually grabbed onto something, that there's the ability the sense of how do I do this? Sink. Sink more. Turn. That's how you do this. All right, if your legs aren't going to hold, it's not going to work. If your waist isn't strong enough to pull, it's not going to work. If your arms are not coordinated with your waist, it's not going to work. If you don't use sink more. No, you can't do nothing up here. It's here. My other hand went to lower Tantian. My other hand would be attached somewhere over here if I wasn't practicing single hand. It helps. Anyway, I'm going to turn around, practice cloud hands. So my weight is going to come to the outside of my left foot. Knee circles around the toe, to the inside of the foot, back to the heel, over to the right side. Excuse me. That's the inward circle, and I haven't given that yet. And I'm not giving it today. I'm going to give the outward circle. Sorry. All right. Outward circle. Weight goes to the right leg. You go around the toes to the outside, back to the heel, over to the left side, to the inside, around to the outside, to the back, cross over to the right, inside, around the toes, around the back, toes. This is our figure 8. Turn the knees. Knees over the toes. As the weight is transferred, turn in the hip so that your hip, your knee, and your foot all have good alignment. I've got my hands on my hips. As I come around with the knee, my hip comes with. Same thing over here. Okay? You should be able, if you put your hands on your hips here, as we turn, and I'm focusing right here on the hip. Put your hands here, find your hip bone, right? And then press in just a little bit where you can feel your legs. As you turn, you should feel a separation between where your leg is turning and where your hip is turning. So if your legs stay there and you want to rock back and forth like this, you could. Not something we're going to do right now. Same thing as lean forward and lean back. So as we come around, right, hip stays open. Sink, turn, sink, turn. Okay, it's a lot of work for the legs. This takes a lot of work on the legs. And I'm not going all the way down today. But there is this level where your goal is that, yeah, I've been practicing. So the goal is that if your thighs are parallel to the floor, you can still move. More work. More practice. Okay. Let's do this one more time, just the legs. You can put your hands here at the lower dantian. Not as low as I just did. So this is, you can be higher. From the right side, go out, left. Go ahead and put your hands back on your hips, since I'm paying attention to that right now. Pay attention to where you feel the head of the femur. Big bone in the top of the leg. Where you feel that as you turn. You want the flexibility to move your hip, so the more you can separate the hip and the leg, keeping them in unison, right? The goal is that you've got each body part able to move individually, and you've practiced to keep them moving in concert. My metaphor is the orchestra, and yeah, the concert was deliberate. All right, so conductor for the orchestra, you are your conductor. You've got body parts to move, yeah, string section over here. You've got some energy to work with. You've got the percussion folks back in the back, right? So as you bring in the different instruments of the orchestra, it can be a more simple or a more complex arrangement. Our practice is the same. We're going to keep bringing in more elements. Thanks for stopping by today. See you next time. Tomorrow, Tai Chi.